Boy, so you guys should know by now that I've covered it a couple times on my channel about the Columbine massacre from April 20th, 1999, where Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold killed 13 others, including one teacher, and then they committed suicide after their killing spree ended. So this is a big thing. It's considered like the original school shooting of ever, even though it's not officially the first. It was the first to really get the huge recognition that it did. I mean, to this day, 16 years later, people are still talking about it, and I think people will talk about it forever. So with that being said, there's a movie coming out called I Am Not Ashamed, and it's about one of the 13 victims, Rachel Joy Scott, who was one of the first killed. Now, I thought this was interesting when I first read that there was going to be a movie and that it was going to be starring some Duck Dynasty people. I was like, okay, let me watch the trailer and I'll be the judge after that. So I watched the trailer, and yeah, this looks like an absolute utter piece of garbage. Now, the reason being is I want to get my points across to you guys before you sit here and say anything negative towards me. And the reasons I think that this is a really bad idea is because, first off and foremost, Rachel Scott was not the only victim. There was 12 other victims that were taken that day. You know, you have Dave Sanders, the teacher, who was killed trying to protect a student and bled to death because the SWAT team took so fucking long just to get into the school. And the nameless others that were killed, plenty of other victims, you know, Isaiah Scholes, Daniel Mauser, I believe I'm saying his name right. I mean, there's just so many. I'm not going to list off every one of the victims here, but those are a couple of the bigger ones that were recognized in the massacre. So with that being said, why is it that Rachel Scott, and you know, no, I don't have any animosity towards Rachel. She's innocent in all this. I mean, she's dead. She's been dead for almost 20 years. So there's nothing against her, but I'm just asking, why is Rachel any more special than those other kids? And if you look at, you know, history with Columbine, and you look at, you know, the newspaper clippings, the news stuff, the funerals that were aired on TV, why, I don't know, and all this other stuff, Rachel Scott was turned into pretty much the poster child of this massacre, so to speak, and she was the biggest martyr. I guess the world needed a martyr. And you know what, I could let that go for the time, because they were just looking at someone to kind of speak, kind of be, you know, like the spokesperson for the kind of victims that were killed in this senseless tragedy. So okay, I get that aspect, but now here we are 16 years later. When this movie comes out, it'll be 17. They're releasing it on the 17th anniversary of the massacre on April 20th, 2016. And they're sitting here and they're making a movie just about her. And my other biggest grievance with this movie is the fact that they're putting false stuff in the movie. Now, the trailer showed, like, you know, the shooting, and it showed her get shot, and then it showed Eric Harris come up to her and pull her up by her hair and say, "Do you believe in your God now?" And they say that she responded with, "You know that I do." This never happened. This is a complete fabrication. It's complete bullshit. There was no exchange between the shooters and Rachel Scott. They shot her first. She was like pretty much the first person to be killed in the massacre, and she died instantaneously. It even says, I've read all the autopsies, and it even says in the autopsy that she died instantaneously, that she didn't feel a thing. She got boom. They hit her right in the head. I think they shot her like around this area. So you got to think a bullet going in there, not to be too graphic, what it does to the brain. So Rachel Scott was dead like that. She probably didn't even know what hit her. Like, you know, eyewitnesses said she kind of saw it coming because the guys aimed up at her, and she kind of went like, you know, she kind of reacted from what I've understood. But there was no exchange between them. They just started opening fire. She was dead. Boom. End of story. And in this, so basically what they did is they took a story from the library massacre, which was the biggest part of the massacre, and they put this other girl's, I think her name, oh God, what's her name? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting this victim's name, but she supposedly had an altercation with, some kind of a verbal altercation with Eric Harris, and he slapped on the desk. This is a very, very well-known thing. He slapped on her desk, and when he went down, he said peekaboo to scare her, and then supposedly he said, "Do you believe in Jesus Christ or God," or one of the two? And she said yes. She said yes, no, and then she said yes, and that's when he shot her in the face. Now, this is actually by experts and all this, they're actually really denying that this ever happened. And I kind of deny it too, because it doesn't make sense for me that Eric was going around shooting anybody that believed in God. Eric may have been an atheist, he may have not believed in God, he may have even hated God, whatever. We don't really know all that information about Eric or Dylan. But one thing definitely remains is that they weren't on a religious killing spree. They weren't on an anti-religious killing spree. They weren't really targeting anybody. It's very well known that they were very much shooting at random. I mean, they killed kids that didn't even know who the fuck they were. So what happened in reality was he tapped on her desk, went down, said peekaboo, aimed with his shotgun. When he shot, it recoiled, hit him in the nose, and that's when he broke his nose like a dumbass. So that's what happened. So I just wanted to kind of clear this for anybody that's kind of like, you know, oh, really? I didn't know she had an altercation with the shooters. No, that's because she didn't. It never happened. It's just sad because to me, this just looks like Hollywood just trying to get money off of a tragedy. I don't have a problem with them making a movie. Some people probably do, and that's okay. I can understand if you do. But me personally, I'd be interested to see a true to life movie about it, where they actually take facts and they actually put effort into the movie. This one just looks like it's kind of pushing the religious agenda. And, you know, Rachel Scott, she may have been religious, but there was no altercation between her and the shooters, and that's what matters. So, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, you can leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it before watching this video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And you guys can, yeah, of course, I'd love to hear your opinions on this. And do you agree with the Columbine movie being made, or do you think it's a tragedy that we should just remember and not profit off of? Anyway, guys, sorry, still getting over being sick. Anyway, guys, this is Kid Carnes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the future. That was lame. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the future. And if there's anything you want to see me, you guys want to see me talk about, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Peace.